Good morning, YouTube. It is, what day is today? Wednesday, May 26th, 2021. My days are getting a little bit jumbled. Been working my tushy off. I put in for less hours at work and ended up getting more. I don't know how that happened. But you know, it's about the kiddos, so I have a hard time saying no. I now have 3 clients, which most individuals there that do what I do have 2 or 1, and I have 3. But that's okay. And then of course I fill in with every kiddo there that's needed. So yeah, I do feel like I'm missing my spiritual realm a little bit, and so that's where I'm at today. Other than that, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the energy is okay. There's a lot of talk about the 26th, if you pay attention to certain things, and if you guys remember, I did a thing with the sun. Okay, for those of you that watch my channel, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, look back through all of my videos, you will see I did a thing with the sun. It's the best thing I can say. And again, it was all channeled, so I'm like forgetting all what it was. It was like Titicaca and the sun together. And I had mentioned that if you see anything with the sun, you know, that's what's going on. It's going to be okay. And now that's what today is about. So there's supposed to be, well, it's more than just that, but there's supposed to be this huge solar flare. There's like a sunspout, I don't know what you call it, on the sun. And there's supposed to be a huge solar flare. So these are yesterday's cards. I left these up for a reason. Because after I pulled these yesterday, I went to work. And I kid you not, I had the most beautiful crow fly up to the window in one of the rooms I was in with my kiddo, one of my kiddos. And all I could do was get so excited. And I'm like, look. And I said my client's name. And I'm like, a crow. I did not think he would care 2 ounces less. He's one of those that's in the tunnel. It's hard to kind of pull him out into our reality. And he immediately was like, or I said bird, look, a bird. And he immediately was like, bird. And he ran towards the window. And it was just such a cool moment. And of course I couldn't pull out my camera. I do a lot of work on my phone as I'm with my kiddos. We do data as well. So it's a pretty interesting moment, but I'm not kidding you, this bird, I just wanted to describe what I saw. I've never seen one so close. So I'm standing in this room, the window is from ceiling to floor, and it's right in front of me. And the crow comes up right in front of the window, right on the ground. So literally a foot in front of me, I could touch it if the window wasn't there. Not afraid, seeming at all. And he was interested in something that was in the area, obviously, but it was just the coolest. I was so close to this bird. I've never been able to see it so close up, right? Other than like maybe at a zoo or something crazy. The beak was magnificently large. You're talking quadruple the size of the one on that card. It was huge and it was so pitch black and it was beautiful. And the feathers were just shimmering black and it just was so poised and graceful. And it was the most breathtaking moment, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. It was absolutely beautiful, and there's no coincidences. And I pulled that card, and I was like, "Huh, thanks, Mr. Bird." Right? I think that went with the message yesterday. Also, is that pay attention to the subtle moments that are around you, because we could be missing magnificence, right? All right, so. I put yesterday's cards out of my space. Forgive me. I wanted to tell you guys as well that the video that I posted yesterday was deleted. So if you did try to click the link, it is no longer available. They flagged it for deletion and removed it. And in it, he said there was a 2-year mark on those individuals that get that thing that they give you that is supposedly the cure-all. If you know what I'm talking about. And so that was the other part of that video that I didn't want to really mention. But that is what he talked about. And of course it was flagged for deletion and removed. So that's that. I thought I would let you guys know that you can no longer click on that link. The little tidbit that I did share with you is still up. Plus I have it on my computer. But I did not download his full video. So that's that. Alright, let's see what the message is for today with all this talk about what's going on. Is there like some crazy blue full moon wanna dance? I don't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be silly and it wasn't very funny. Something with a full moon. I don't know. There's a lot going on today. I can say that, supposedly, energetically, spaciously, like with the sun, within the universe, within the shifting. So let me tune in a little bit. I do hear expansive energy at hand, so it's almost like the world is expanding outward, I guess you could say, if that is a capability. The earth kind of just like breathe. It's almost like when we inhale, we grow larger, right? Our chest expands. And so I feel like that's the energy the earth is housing right now, which can cause some reverberation, okay? Remember, I had told you there was like a standstill moment, and then it was no longer standing still, and that's exactly what happened. It was like super quiet, nothing happened, and then boom, right back into motion, right? Right. So I've got both card decks pulled out. You know, all I can tell you is it kind of gets frustrating to me when everybody's like, oh, the 26th this, but, you know, there is an incoming solar flare. What all that means, I have no idea. I've never really paid attention to that before. All I can tell you is, spiritually speaking, it almost feels like the hairs on my neck are my arms are standing up. So like a lot of static is what I feel. Like a lot of static, a lot of maybe heat. And a lot of influx of energy source. Okay, and that kind of goes with that visual that I had. I really do feel like they're related. Like the orange sky. I don't know. I feel like everybody's okay, right? Like everything's going to be just fine, okay? I'm like, which deck do I want first? I literally just had both in my hand and got no card. I'm going to go back to this one first. Shaman's Dream. Shaman's Dream. I don't know, you guys. I have a short day today, but then I don't because I have my workshop today for my patrons and anybody else who wishes to join. That is today. It will probably be around 2:30 if I go into my other job. I told him I had to be off at 1:30 today, but I'm just so... I walked okay, so between going to work yesterday and then after work, let me see how much I walked for exact. Because it was a lot, you guys. Like, I'm not kidding you. My goal a day is 6,000 steps. You realize that's over 3 miles a day. I'm like, why is that my goal? Did I mess something up? But yesterday, I walked 6,553 steps. That's 3.17 miles between work and then just going to the store afterwards and getting bathing suits for my kids. That's all I did. And between that, I walked 6,500 steps. You know, today my foot's like swelling on top, and I'm like, do I really want to go in? I don't know if I'm going to go in, honestly. I'm so tired. I don't know if I'm too old to work a 40-hour week with these kiddos anymore. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm too old. All right, enough of my whining. Let's go about what everybody else wants to hear about. Again, I've really been feeling find humor where we can find it. Like, grab onto humor where you can find it. Grab onto joy where you can find it. You know, if what I did this last year really did sacrifice my health, I'm like, well, that would suck, you know, but I have changed. I've gone through a lot physically, emotionally, going through what I did this last year, or 2 years, and I'm like, talk about the ultimate sacrifice. And I was literally just looking up the difference between mystic and healer, because my name is Juniper Bloom Mystique. If you pay attention to anything that I do, you will notice that I'm not normal. I'm not like every other healer or every other anything, right? The work that I do is very much so different, and if you really pay attention, it is quite powerful. And so I started looking it up. I'm like, something drew my attention. Another card reader had pulled something mystic or healer, and I'm like, well, I'm both. So I decided to look that up. And in that it says mystics don't usually heal others physically, their ailments, and things of that nature, because it takes their energy, their life source, right? So they give of their own life to do so. And knowing what I've gone through and what I've done and how many healing sessions I've done and how much I've done for the earth and the world and all this other kind of stuff, whether you believe me or not, it's okay with me. Again, everything I say is proven. But knowing that and knowing what I've gone through physically, I'm like, dang, what a sacrifice, right? Like, can I just quit now and go back into healing myself and get all pretty and skinny and healthy? And what the hell did I do? Oh no. So I started looking up, the difference between mystic and healer and what that represents, and it really does make sense. I am a mystic, but I'm also a healer. I'm a master healer. I don't know. I apparently, again, different upon different. I never have a full answer, right? Part of the gods of time. That's what they've told me recently. Take that. Try to swallow that. How would you live if you were told you were part of the gods of time? Most people would probably get into their ego. I don't really have much of an ego, and so I struggle with it. And Spirit's always asking me, why don't you believe in who you are? I don't know. What do I do with that info? Nobody believes what I did. Nobody sees what I did. What do you do with that info? You know what I mean? Like, it's just the weirdest. It's the weirdest thing. And I find people all over, who am I? When you have a spiritual awakening, you always wonder, who am I? What am I capable of? And that's one I just still can't quite fathom. I'm like, it's not real. I do struggle. And so that's the thing, is when humans dive too deep into answers that are just out of our grasp, it can cause a sense of feeling like we are mentally unstable, right? Because even try grasping the shit that I've done and told you. Like, I can feel most people questioning it, right? Like, I've talked about this many, many times over. It's just a lot. It's outside of our realm of understanding in a lot of ways. Okay? And so I think that's when expectations come into play, and that's when, like, people are like, well, it didn't happen this way, so they must not be real, or this must not be this. And it's like, there's so much you just don't understand. There's so many levels. There's so many different things at hand, right? Infinite possibilities. So, just, how do you tell people not to worry when there's so much fear being pushed all around? You have the video I said yesterday where the government, people are even ousting the fact that this vaccine, people who get it are only expected to live 2 years. Or, like, it just definitely does a lot of things to change you. Or it's an operating system, whatever these crazy, like, I don't know. It's a crazy, crazy world. Then you have all these spiritual people talking. Then you have, like, all these, it's the end of the world people talking. And then you actually have, like, earthquakes and this incoming solar flare. And add a black cat and a full moon on top of that. Although I love black cats, no pun intended. You know what I mean? It's just this, I'm getting a kick out of it today with this crazy, like, this is a definite good movie if you'd be sitting back watching our reality unfold at hand. The drama, right? It's like a suspense drama, love story, thriller. Oh man. Zombie apocalypse. I don't know. Just let's see what the cards have to say today. Find humor where you can. Don't focus on anything else. Don't focus on too many possibilities, too many what ifs. That's what Spirit's saying, okay? 17, Eye of the Needle, intentionality. And what did I just say too as I was saying that? Okay, be aware of what you focus on. Keep your focus on what you want, positive outcomes, beauty, help, love, okay? Love, joy, right? Find happiness in the moments where we can. So what I'm hearing with this one also is if you are too eagle eye, what can happen? You'll be like too focused on one thing and you might miss other things. And so that's really what I'm hearing with this one. Okay, is don't be too focused on that one specific, especially all the crap that's going on in the world, right? Don't be too focused on that one thing. Super important. Be super focused and be intentional on being aware that nobody really knows. That's Spirit's answer to you. You think anybody's really going to know anything? Hello? Do you think Spirit would be like, hey, this is going to happen on this day in order to... I mean, we know things. I know things. I've done things. Things I say happen. Trust me. It just may not be in the time frame you want them to happen. It may not be the way you expect them to happen. Do you understand? Do you feel me? Spirit will give you a message and it'll come through a little cryptic. It always does, okay? That's how you learn to communicate with Spirit. You have to leave out your ego, your emotions, your interpretation that is of ego mind or of earth state or whatever and so forth, right? Like it's an art form that you develop, okay? The more you can surrender yourself, the more accurate your readings are. Does that make sense? So, don't be super focused on anything that is not going to benefit you or serve the greater good. All right? Eye of the Needle. Be focused on love and light and fulfillment and joy, okay? And family. Like, it's okay to expand. I'm hearing people don't even want to expand families. People are just, like, so uncertain. This is a time of great expansion, okay? And that's really what it's all about. And that's what I said in the beginning, isn't it? It's like the earth is expanding. It's time of great expansion. And so be mindful of limiting your energy flow and limiting your sight, especially into things that are of fright. A little poet over here. And oh, believe me, I know it. All right. What should I do today? Stay home or go in? 4.5 hours. Then I come home, do my workshop. Then I gotta finish getting ready to go with the kiddos. And I'm just like, how horrible of me, right? Okay. What a big baby I am. But I do need to nurture my soul too, right? Where's the balance? Alright. Let's see what else the Spirit has to say. That's loud. Trust, okay. Trust in your abilities also, alright. Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy is the card that I pulled. Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy. It's actually a really pretty card. Again, it's the in-between. I'm hearing be wary of the in-between. Okay, this has a couple of messages in it, like usual. I'm really, with this card, is so much so like the in-between. Okay. Falling Angel, Spiritual Narcolepsy. It's like don't fall asleep with your connection to Source. And wasn't that the message from yesterday? Okay, so that's carrying over. And, this is very relevant for myself as well, because I have been, then I said that in the beginning, I have been engulfed in work and not connecting spiritually. So the last couple of days I've been trying to tune in a little more. And that's why I'm like, you know what, I think I may just call off this morning. because it's not too many hours. I'm not having to do too much of missing, and just connect, right? Even though that's bad, don't take my advice, don't listen to me. And I may not do that, that's really bad. But I'm just saying, I feel almost like I'm neglecting myself, okay? Be mindful of the in-between. When you're not focusing on something, you're capable of going anywhere, all right? And I've said this many times over. Falling asleep, detaching from our connection of Source. The thing that rings to me most with this one is drug use, you guys. I grew up in a drug world. No kidding. Not a joke. Hardcore drug world. Not me, personally, okay? The worst thing I've ever done, I've said it many times over, was smoke pot. I grew up in Colorado. To me, that was nothing when you come from a heroin-filled background and methamphetamine and things like that. That is where I came from. Disclaimer, a lot of info, you may not want to hear it. Close your ears. That is the reality, okay, that I came from, was born into, right? Light born into the darkness. Anywho, I've witnessed, okay, this is the best description I can give it, is when you see a human being and they are stuck in that world, right? And some people might understand this, some people might not. It's like an in-between. It's almost like they're not alive and they're not dead. They're not in reality, but they are. It's like, where are they? Okay? They're detached from Source. They're detached from self. And I feel like we're being surrounded by this right now, on one hand. And on another, it's super easy to do that because we might get super focused on things that are in fear and lower vibration and things that are intended to take us away from Source. Okay? I don't know if this is in the collective or if this is a thought that I've had, but I'm going to mention it. I've had the thought of, is Spirit just trying to tell us to be happy while everybody is about to be wiped out because the world's going to crumble? And I get an astounding no. Okay? I get an astounding no. It is not the end of days. And no, not only like 5 people are going to be left either. Okay? Then the phrase free will comes up for today's message as well. Free will. Give me just a second. I got a text message on my phone. Okay, never mind. Anyways. People are always sending me information as if it's something I'm not already aware of. I'm like, okay. What was I talking about? Free will. Okay, so with free will is interesting. You know, on one hand, people will say it's all about free will. Spirit cannot go against free will. I've said that many, many times over. Then on another hand, you'll see there really is no free will. It's all part of a greater plan. Or free will only goes so far. Free will is at play 1,000% always. You create the plan. You agree to the plan. We have to remember we are all connected. We are all part of the one. And we all have to utilize the same life force, the same energy, the same life force. How many times do I have to say that? That's the epitome of it. We utilize the same light to come here to fill our own purpose, as well as working in conjunct with each other to do so. That's the epitome of life right there. You cannot do that in a selfish way, right? Like, I want this lifetime, and I don't care how it's going to affect you. So we are all quite aware that we make a sacrifice as well coming in sometimes, right? Just like I have had to do. And so that is a part of still of free will. All right. And so when I hear people say free will is non-existent or it only goes so far, yes and no. You're well aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it and the decisions you make, but you make them. Okay. Spirit cannot go against free will. And a long time ago I had said to you, not all of us are going to stay. Some choose to go, and we have to be willing to let them go. All right, and it's not going to be as massive or as crazy, but it's going to be way crazier at the same time than you could ever imagine. And that's what Spirit's saying, straight up. And so we have to let it go, thinking that everybody has every answer, because not one individual, I don't care. Look at the answers I give you. I will straight up tell you, Spirit will tell me everything they can. I can see with a clear visual, clear smell, clear taste, clear whatever you want to call it. I am highly connected. And so Spirit literally will tell me. We can't tell you everything. Remember when I was doing my work, they would tell me, if we had told you, you wouldn't have done it. I'm like, why in the hell didn't you tell me this was going to do this? And the straight up answer is, would you have done it? No, probably not. And that's why subconsciously I blew out my solar plexus that time when I was activating the Earth's new core with Atlantis stuff. I know it's kind of crazy, but that's what I've been through. Okay. So beware of hyperfocus. Beware of spiritual narcolepsy right now. Right? Don't get into a state of, it's almost like fight or flight, where we just kind of freeze in fear. Don't do that. Where sometimes you wonder why this is happening. Okay, so I'm also hearing that with this card as I pull the next one. I haven't looked at it yet. But you sometimes wonder why this is happening, right? Like, why is this happening? You lose your faith in God. That's what I'm hearing. The Spirit is saying, don't lose your faith in God. Don't become a fallen angel. Okay, because you have to look at it from a free will state of mind. Period. Okay? Free will state of mind. And that's the way it goes. Right? Part of living is also letting others live. Okay? Then we have cosmic womb, the divine feminine, of course. Nurturing, love, support. What does a mother do? We help house you. We help develop you. We are supposed to love you and nurture you and support you, just like I did for all 3 of my kids. All the babies I lost, mind you, I've lost babies. I've had 2 bury babies, okay? So, and then the babies I do take care of. So I'm definitely a mother, a heart all around, mother, okay? This to me represents so much. The cosmic womb, the divine feminine. That means it's time to nurture our existence as a whole. It's time to, much like when a child is injured, what does a nurturing mother do? Not all mothers are equipped with it, right? So don't compare every mother. But what does a nurturing mother do? They nurture you. They put a bandage on you. They clean you. They rock you. They give you their soul. They help nurture your emotions, your physical being, your joy, all of those things. They help nurse you back to life, okay? And that's really what I'm hearing. It's about gathering our energy as a collective and becoming part of that cosmic womb energy and nurturing the earth back to life, okay? Nurturing our world into the higher existence, nurturing the wounds that have been left wide open and oozing, which is kind of gross, but it's true, okay? So let's stand in that point. Be aware of our thoughts. Be aware of our energy output, right? Come at it from a stance of the nurturing mother, the divine feminine, because it's very much being activated. So when I was in Fiji, you guys, Fiji and I think it was Fiji. Remember, everything I do is channeled, so it's all recorded, but I don't hold every memory tightly, which is why I want to get it all documented as quickly as possible. But in Fiji, I do believe the gods rose. Like, there was a pyramid underwater there, and the goddesses and the gods rose out of the water. It was like I woke them up, or I activated the thing for them to come through. I don't get it all still. Again, things are still beyond my comprehension. They're not all for me to understand, just like they're not all for you to understand. But I will tell you that. And so when I talk about divine energy, it's a serious thing. Like, I don't know how else to express. There is a major influx of divine energy. That cosmic womb please get involved in that, because it's very healing, it's nurturing, it's going to help the collective rise in higher love, okay? Don't be hyper-focused, all right? And beware of the falling angel energy, spiritual narcolepsy, losing faith, getting super focused on the wrong things, and so on and so forth. And always remember, we are constantly manifesting. We are constantly manifesting, okay? Constantly. And right now, we're hyper-manifesting, all right? And if it's not coming in this exact moment, it's because there's this shift in energy as well, all right? So when they say you're creating your future, that's not a joke. When we say your complete freedom is at hand, it's not a joke. You've been under complete control. So now the freedom is yours. So be mindful, okay? If you're not happy with your job and you're putting it out there, guess what might happen? The universe might shift and say, here you go, and you weren't exactly meaning that, okay? So be careful what you're wishing for. Be careful what you're thinking about. I can say it over and over. Start getting into the, so what I'm hearing is start getting into the art form of manifesting, and this will help you in your thought processes on an everyday basis. Because then you're more focused on, what am I manifesting right now? What am I manifesting right now? And stay in clarity. That's how you stay in clarity. Okay? That is how you stay in clarity. What am I thinking about? What am I bringing about? Where is my energy going? This is going to bring about clarity. Okay? Also, in the collective energy, there's clarity at hand. Okay? So more clarity coming. More insight into what is happening. There's clarity at hand coming. Also, I am hearing light codes, okay? DNA, I am seeing that as well. Friendship, all right? Be mindful of our friends. Be mindful of who gets to occupy our space. And be open to allowing more in again, okay? Expand your circle, all right? We've been so divided for so long. Start expanding your circle. And just look at the love in her heart. Look at how happy she feels knowing that she's a part of a collective joy. That's what it's about. All right? That's what it's about. She knows she's a part of a collective joy. And in 3 occasions throughout this live, it's not a live, I'm recording, I've seen 666. Okay? So 6 is all about our mind space, our thoughts. Okay? Curl up, cocoon it in the cosmic womb. Be filled with love. Be filled with light and joy and community. Be wondering at all times, is this good energy? Is this a negative energy source? Is this mine? Is this something else? And where am I going with it? What am I creating with these thoughts right now? That's super important for me as well, especially when you're powerful, right? And we're still on this earth, and this earth can be a very harsh thing and create some things within us, right? That we aren't, like a negative space on a regular, right? Like I will do it still. I get down about myself. Like, dang it, why didn't I do that? And it's like we got to get out of that pattern, all right? That's what I'm hearing here. And so much great insight and clarity is at hand if you can avoid that spiritual falling angel, that spiritual narcolepsy, not connecting, right? Constantly connecting. Look how many cards they had me pull. They just made me notice that too. 6 cards. All right. Be aware of your thoughts. Be aware of your focus. Okay, keep it in the higher light, keep it in the community, and keep it in togetherness. All right, constantly manifesting. Be hyper-focused, but on making sure you're staying open, which is kind of silly. So much love to all of you. I am with you. Yeah, but again, we're always in this together. Nobody has all the answers. That's the best thing I can tell you. Spirit's giving us an insight, okay, and energy moves. So that's the best thing we can tell you. The guarantee is that we are moving. We are ascending. The changes are at hand. There was no old. The old earth is pretty much already gone. Okay? I'll repeat that. The old earth is pretty much already separated. Remember? All right. So much love to all of you. Please do me a favor. I want you all to start imagining that this vaccine has no power over that anymore. Maybe we can just do that. Whatever it causes, wherever it goes, I don't know. If it does anything, I don't know. But I don't like the thought that when they use free will against you and you do things because you feel duress, and you take something that's going to harm you, and that just seals your fate. It bothers me. And so I'm kind of going against that. So for those of you who can hear this, for those of you who wish to send that out energy out with me, let me know in the comments below. I so appreciate it. And that is my goal. Okay? Much love to everybody. I'm a humanitarian. I'm not a single person. Like, I know a part of the collective. I'm a part of the collective, and I'm here for the whole. And that's who I am. That's what I do. Stay out of judgment. Stay in kindness. Stay in love. Support each other. You're right where you're supposed to be. Talk to you later. Bye.